Thirsty Thursday coming at ya. It's Mike and Ben from Sunspot. Hope everybody's doing well. Cheers to you. All right.
Cheers,
Oh,
Mike.
hey.
Oh,
Oh, and cheers, Miss Wendy.
hi.
Hi.
Cheers.
All right.
Now I'm better.
Loading
I'm
up.
better equipped here.
Sounds good. Sounds good. All right. So,
Oh.
what's everybody been up to for Thursday? The weather's been gorgeous finally. We've been waiting for this whole time. And obviously, we've been trapped inside. So, have you guys been having a chance to been outside much?
Yeah, I took my daughter to the stick her toes in the lake. We took a bike ride down to the lake.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Last day of school today
All right. So
for teachers.
Ooh,
now you
congrats.
now you gotta do shit for woo.
Nice.
Party time, party time. Hey, okay, we have our first. We have our first Patreon toast coming in. Number one. Oh, what? Lisa Van Buskirk. She commented earlier. We have to toast Lisa because she already has a comment in. Lisa, this one's for you.
Lisa.
One, two,
Lisa.
three. Oofda.
Oofta.
Bart.
Mm.
This one's for you, sir. 1, 2, 3. Oofda.
Oofta, Bart. Right on. He was right on time. He was in the chat room chanting Sunspot.
Oh,
Sunspot.
sweet.
Abby.
Way to do it.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Oofda.
Oofta to you, Abby.
Mark J. Minneapolis. Got to get a quick hi so I get a group oofda. And we shall, sir. 1, 2, 3.
Oofta.
What do you got there tonight, Mike?
Johnny Walker Black. It's easy. I enjoy the taste of it. And it's a known quantity. Whereas if I pour in 6 ounces of Johnny Walker Black, I know I'm not going to die. Whereas it might be something else, could take me for a ride. And so,
It's a known quantity from years and years of experience.
from years and years of abuse. Okay, other awesome people. Steph from Milwaukee. Cheers. Keep kicking ass, guys. Yay. Hope you're doing well.
Hey, cheers.
Plan
Thank
to.
you.
To a recent MyAd graduate, I believe, is what she was saying. Also, I remember when she was telling us about going to MyAd at the 2016 Milwaukee Paracon. So it's nice to see people start with like a dream and come through and deliver the goods. So that's a big fat like.
Very
from
awesome.
us. Jimmy from Antigo. Hi all. Hi Jim. Mr. Scott
Hey, Jimmy.
Marcus, how you doing, sir? Hope you're doing all right. Pam, oofed out of you. Oh, here we go. 1, 2,
Oofed
3.
up, Pam.
Oofed up.
Oofta.
Joel Bradley. Speaking of inspiring stories, Joel, hope you're doing all right in the
Yeah.
Pacific Northwest. And
I'm
hope
thinking
you're
about you, man.
absolutely, and hope your health is keeping strong. So just our best to you. Melody, hello. It's okay if you spell my name wrong. Hello, that is how my
GG.
name would be spelled if I was. Actually, I took my 23andMe, so I am Norwegian. I have a little bit of that Norway in me. I just thought I looked like a fjord with my pants off, but I'll take it. And Jeremy Lentz, hey, oofda, Patreon, oofda,
Lentz.
the JJ.
JJ!
And your t-shirts on the
Cheerio.
way, sir. 1, 2, 3, oofda.
Oofta. T-shirt and a bunch of other stuff.
Okay. Oh, Scott says,
Goodies.
bring up the gain on my mic. It's funny because now I'm obviously probably way louder, but before I was recording vocals.
Oh, God!
I go burn your ears off. Lisa, we did a cheers to you, I think maybe before you got on, but cheers to you.
Cheers.
You were the first
Cheers,
comment that showed up, but cheers to you again. And, okay.
We miss you.
Obviously, I'm anything but bashful, Scott. So I thought
Nice.
you were Polish like me.
Ask
Oh,
the workers at Aussies about Mike being bashful.
Right. They don't worry about that. Jimmy, I definitely have plenty of Polish in me. Well, I will in a little bit. No, but the thing is that
Jeez.
I'm a mutt of like a Euro mutt. So like Polish, German, French, Irish, English, and now a little bit of Norwegian, Ashkenazi Jewish, and
And you discovered you had some Pacific Islander, right?
well, the Pacific Islander was on the first report said Pacific Islander, like it
That was
said-
within the error margin,
because it
right?
went all the way down. It's like you're 2% Jewish, and I'm like, we didn't know that. We're like, what? Like that's cool. Like that's a new thing to explore. And then it went below it was 1% Pacific Islander, and I was like, where did the Pacific Islanders come from? Pretty sweet, but that has not been on the recent reports, so I think that might have been an
Exciting.
error.
You discovered your Jimmy Superfly Snook is long lost
Right.
son, right?
That would be awesome. Except my dad is awesome. But if my dad
Your
raised,
dad is awesome.
if my dad did raise me, and he's like, I want to tell you the truth, son. You are Jimmy Superfly Snook's biological son. First of all, I'd be like, okay, I don't look like it.
Say what?
Right. But second of all, I would be like, that is awesome. Because I love Jimmy Superfly Snuka. Lisa, we miss you too. It'd be nice. It'd be nice for everybody to get together. We can't wait till we can all get together.
bud.
Hey, I haven't started a watch party yet, so I'm gonna start that right now.
Wendy, what are you drinking over there?
Yeah, what's going on in your life, Wen?
Oh, what am I drinking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I'm having
what's
a little Shiraz. I had big plans today. I was planning on making myself a really fancy like a pina colada. I thought that'd be fun as like a celebratory nice day.
Yeah.
But turns out, as usual, I ran out of time, and suddenly it was 7:30, and the video is synced, by the way, Mike.
Fantastic.
So
And I do love
you can grab that.
I do love pina coladas because obviously I love Puerto Rico and the Puerto Rican people.
Yeah.
Funny
It
thing
makes you feel tropical.
Funny thing is, when our friend Victor Hidalgo and I went down to Puerto Rico, we tried to order a pina colada at this is like December of 2000. We tried to order a pina colada at like every single bar we went to, and they're like, we're out of the stuff. So then we just drank beer the entire time. It was well, we drank some mojitos too, but it was just a funny thing that we're like, we're here to do ghost hunting and pina coladas, and we could only do the ghost hunting. Okay, Josh LeCare. Hello from Poway, California.
Well, hello.
I don't know where Poway is. So, I would love to know where Poway, California is. Okay, Megan. Oh, obviously Megan gets a Patreon toast.
Top of the morning to you,
Oh,
Megan. Cheers.
I'm the leprechaun.
She also has some. They also have some Patreon goodies coming their way.
Yes, Megan, that should be coming to you either today or tomorrow or Saturday.
Keep an eye on your mailbox.
Melody requested the chords for a Sunspot song.
Oh, yeah.
And so we sent those to her. So if you guys want to learn how to play a Sunspot song, you can let us know, because as long as you're playing a Sunspot song, we will send you the chords to it.
I would like to know if anybody would be interested. I think it might be a good quarantine activity. It might be like to have a little teach people how to play a certain song.
Oh, I think that'd be fun too.
And we have a professional teacher in our group.
That's true.
I'm talking to you.
Yes.
Talking to the guy drinking whiskey, right?
This guy right here.
Oh, Tom Ferrari from
The other
St.
guy
Louis
drinking.
looking for a shout out.
What's up, Tom? Cheers.
So Poway is northeast of San Diego.
Oh, okay,
Oh.
that sounds nice.
Sounds like
That
a
does sound
lovely
nice.
place to be.
Yes, I have a cousin in San Diego, and I haven't visited him in a long time, so it'd be nice to go out to San Diego, and maybe we'll stop in Poway, Josh. Okay, so I was thinking what we haven't talked about in a while is
Ghosts?
wait, Megan, Ben, professional. Yes.
Nice.
Contrary to popular opinion, Ben does get paid.
And that is one of his, well, you've experienced it, right, Megan? You've experienced the teachings of Mr. Yeager, so.
It's summer vacation, though. I'm off the clock. So.
There you
All
go. Exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
in the
And congratulations, Ben, on finishing another year of school.
Another
It
year.
was a very
That's a big
interesting
deal.
year.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Obviously, when people you were doing, But obviously, you couldn't be like in a Zoom thing with your students and be like, all right, let me show you how to play this one. And then you just break out the piano and you're drinking whiskey and you're like, this is how we do it at the casino at
That's
midnight.
not how we do it. Right.
Yeah, no. I mean, you could, but you probably wouldn't have your job very long.
Abby, I haven't touched my violin in about 15 years.
Oh, wow.
That
Oh my
doesn't-
gosh!
That doesn't mean you can't come back if you still
Pick
have
it
it.
up, Abby.
You can always come
Now's
back.
the time. It's so much fun.
Yeah,
I
15
recommend
years
it,
is-
seriously.
That's not even very long.
In the watch
No,
party,
it's
Shanna
like riding a bike.
Shanna from Central Florida. Central Florida. Hello. We'll see you on the in the other fjord-like area. Or why do I think a fjord like a peninsula? Like I was trying to make a joke before, but a fjord is just a
That's
big.
why I thought it was so funny. Like,
Yeah, I know a fjord's not a peninsula. I'm just a dumbass. School is out, Lisa. You know, speaking of music, I was talking to Mark today. Mark Johnson was posting about an Alice Cooper track. He said that Ronnie James Dio does a really sweet version of "Welcome to My Nightmare," but Alice's is the best. And I wanted to say that Alice Cooper on the Muppet Show is why I wanted to be a performer, because when I saw Alice Cooper, because everybody else in the Muppet Show was kind of, I don't know, everybody was really cheesy and stuff like that, and I love the Muppet Show, no question. But when Alice Cooper comes out and does "Welcome to My Nightmare," and I'm like, what is this? He's crazy, he's wearing makeup, he's singing this song, he's crawling around. I'm like, this is awesome. And I thought this would be a really awesome thing to do. And then I wasn't really interested in playing an instrument until I heard Joe Walsh's solo on Hotel California. And then I realized if you can play something like that and just have it be so awesome, I'm like, I want to get involved. But the impetus to be a musician was seeing Alice Cooper on the Muppet Show when I was a little kid. And so, and I thought we should all ask, so everybody, what was your thing? And when I interview people from Maximum Inc. or different magazines, and I realized the other day, I was thinking about some interviews I've done, and I've asked this kind of question to everybody from Rob Zombie to Yoko Ono. And we haven't asked this question on our Thirsty Thursday. What was the thing that made you what did you see and you wanted to be a musician? What transformed in you? So many people in the 1960s said, we saw the Beatles and Ed Sullivan. That was the same thing they said, a million times. So what was ours? Mine was Alice Cooper on the Muppet Show. Which one of you guys want to go?
Wendy, go ahead. I kind of jumped all over your questions the past few weeks.
Oh, that's okay.
Wait my turn.
I'm like the least interesting person to ask the questions because I don't have good answers.
But an answer is fine.
So-
and it just But what was your what was your thing? Why you're I want to play music? Why? What hit you?
I didn't have a lightning bolt moment, but my sister got to take piano lessons, and I went along with, and I saw her playing, and I saw all the other students, and it just was really exciting to me. And so that was where it all began. And I asked my parents if I could take lessons too. And then when I started doing it, it was just became addictive. I loved learning, and I loved the process of practicing and getting better, and just being able to play the instrument to the point where you could just lose yourself in the song. So, but it all just started with piano, really.
All right.
So I'll credit my sister. I'll say Heidi.
Okay, well that's a nice thing to say. Oh, my sister influenced me. And I know my sister influenced me in a million different things. Some good, some bad. But the thing is that kind of family stuff is important. And so you might not have a story as obviously saying I saw Alice Cooper play in the Muppet Show is a good soundbite. But also it's nice to say well, I saw someone in my family do something really cool and I wanted to pursue that. And so I think that's really nice. Ben, what was the moment that God hit you in the balls?
So I'd like to first say, and Lisa might know this story, but I don't know if everybody else knows this story. So the first performance that Mike and I ever gave back in middle school, we played School's Out by Alice Cooper.
Yes.
And Thunderstruck by AC/DC. So I just, I wanted to put that out there. So
real quick story about Thunderstruck, Ben, before we go into your origin story. Thunderstruck, I went to the gym today, and my coach was like, he lives next to the Garver feed mill, which is this thing on the east side of Madison, which is an old abandoned feed mill, and now it has like a pizza place and ice cream parlor and things. It's
gentrification.
It's totally. I mean, but it was a decaying urban decayed building.
I love it when they save old places like that rather than tearing them down. I mean, it's neat to be able to at least have even if it's just the outer skin of it, like the structure or whatever. It's nice to have that look into the past.
And so
with modern amenities like pizza.
He said this morning, some guy just went out in front of the Garver feed mill, sat down, put out a lawn chair, had like not just a boom box, but like a Bluetooth speaker. Had like a Bluetooth speaker that you had to carry out there in both hands, set it down, and played Thunderstruck over and over for a half an hour.
Sweet.
No reason.
I like the cut of his jib.
He just did it. He just played Thunderstruck for a half an hour, and I'm like, oh, was he doing push-ups? Like, because I've heard of the one song playlist for a workout. You listen to one song over and over again while you're like, was he doing sit-ups? Was he push-ups? Was he jumping jacks or anything? He's like, no, dude. He sat in the lawn chair and just listened to Thunderstruck for 30 minutes.
What is this one song workout thing? That sounds torturous.
Well, you do the one song workout it becomes like a mantra. It becomes a focus thing where
I get that.
Parts of the song will then, as you get to the third or fourth repetition, help you do something harder. It helps you concentrate instead of being distracted by the music. You use the music for an energy thing.
But I mean, so it's not like to make you so annoyed with the song that you try harder so that you can be done.
No, it is to get energy for it. But that's what I thought this guy was doing. I'm like, oh my God, is somebody like just rocking the fuck out the Thunderstruck and working out? And he's like, no, he just sat down, turned up the Bluetooth speaker to like 20, and then let Thunderstruck rip all through the east side of Madison this morning.
And thank goodness it wasn't a worse song.
Right. It had to be. Funny enough, and we'll get to Ben's story in a second.
No, I totally get it.
Ben, you got to talk when you have the chance, man. It's like trying to get a word in edgewise.
The first time we were talking about playing Thunderstruck at the middle school talent show, we get up there and I sing it like Brian Johnson, and my balls haven't completely descended yet, so I can sing it pretty good, and so we sing it, and then the person, Mrs. Ulricky, I think was the one. She also was in charge of student government. She comes up and she's like, Mike, are you going to sing it like that for the talent show? And to my shame, I said no. And so I did not sing it like that for the talent show. And I just sang it an octave down. And I should have.
You were like, oh, well, it's like all smooth. And
I was like Bobby Darin singing. I was
like Richard
in
Cheese.
the middle of a railroad track.
No.
I looked round and I knew there was no turning.
My gosh.
No, but anyway, I caved, and I said, "Of course not," because that's what I thought you wanted to hear. What else did we cave
on the name of the band too?
Yeah,
because we wanted to be Bloodlust. I already had the fangs on my guitar. I had like red electrical tape and stuff, like dripping blood fangs.
It was
and
awesome.
We were like, yeah, we're Bloodlust.
Such rebels.
So we had to change the name, but we found a good name. So we were Nevermore.
Yeah.
For like 8 years.
Yeah. Nevermore was a cool name, but Ben, that's right. I forgot that you Ben. He went into it, man, on his Fender Squire.
That's commitment.
Like he went in and he took tape, like he took the white tape to make out Bloodlust, and then he put the fangs in there, and then red electrical tape for the blood coming out the fangs. It was awesome. Like, it was awesome. And then we're like, what's the name of your band? We're like, Bloodlust. I was caught in a band. You know, like, we were just cranking it out. And then the teacher's like, okay, so we're not going to call your band Bloodlust, and you're not going to sing like that. And then we're just like, okay. And then we just did it.
They just castrated you right there.
I was going to say, they castrated my balls, and they hadn't even dropped yet.
Right.
Okay.
Take away all the fun.
So, Lisa, fangs.
Lisa got excited. Our in-house
Thank you.
vampire.
Okay. So,
Thank you, Joshua. I think you're doing an amazing job.
Yes, I hope you.
Yeah,
Whatever you're doing, I hope you're doing an amazing job. Ben,
Yeah.
now let's hear your stuff.
Talk about your music.
Now the origin
Talk about
story.
it. Yeah,
Well,
I'm sick of your bullshit. Talk about it.
every night when I went to sleep, I'd listen to a lot of classical music. And then my mom was teaching at Alverno, so she took me to like some class piano stuff when I was like 4, and like a nun taught the class and stuff. So I got playing piano. And then Mrs. Thalacker in 5th grade, she used to keep the the mouthpiece in the same drawer as her smoke. So I never liked the way that the tuba mouthpiece smelled.
Oh my
but
God.
I tell you what.
I love Mrs. Thalacker.
Oh yeah, she was great. And then
That's hilarious.
But I still remember, like, we were choosing instruments, and they unveiled this brand new tuba, and it was the biggest, most shiniest, expensive thing I'd ever seen. And nobody had touched it yet. I was like, "That's mine." Of course, I got it home, and I started playing Frosty the Snowman, and it goes like this: bum, 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 bum. Right? And after like 6 years of piano, I was like, "Mom, this isn't Frosty the Snowman." So like,
Where's
what's
the
going on?
melody?
And it was at that point that she broke it to me that the tuba doesn't always get the melody. So,
Oh yeah.
but luckily I was in youth symphony and stuff with Wendy, and there's some cool orchestral tuba parts, and that really saved me from losing interest. But
Yeah, you
as
got
far as
some good stuff there.
rock and roll is concerned, I think it was Tony Keene that got me the Aerosmith "Janie's Got a Gun" single for like my birthday in like 7th grade.
7th grade birthday party. I was there. Ben
Oh.
had that
We're
one.
there.
And he had
Hold on, it's coming.
Young MC. Bust
Let
a
him
move.
talk,
You
let him
had-
talk.
You bust a move. I didn't know he was going to break out everything. Like, sometimes Ben doesn't remember all the details, and I remember.
Oh, you think? Right. So,
What?
but no, Young MC. No, I was glad I got that one too, because that was the first song that I ever fast danced to at a school dance. So, and I practiced in my room for weeks.
He busted a move.
So,
That's
and then
amazing.
I
I
still
hope there's
remember
footage of that somewhere.
Vanessa. I'm trying to remember. She asked me to dance, and I was like, "Sure, I'll fast dance with you," because I didn't know how to slow dance. I was like, but I knew how to do bust a move.
Nice. Well done.
But anyway, so Jane.
Do you have
Janie's,
footage of that?
No,
No, there were
sorry.
no. I mean, we don't want any videotapes. It was a different day back then. You could actually be
I know it
humiliated.
was. I
You
was
could
there.
be humiliated
I
in
was-
public, and no one would remember it.
Hey, there were VHS. There were those giant cameras. And they came out at special occasions like dances. So I'm just saying.
Not our days.
Like my brother's I think it's like 5th birthday, and I pretended to be drunk, and I got in huge trouble. Like, I pretended to be drunk on Kool-Aid. So there's video footage of that,
I want to see
That's
that.
but
awesome.
not
Okay.
like my 13th birthday. So
We need that for a Sunspot outtake.
I'll see what I could do. I'll see if I can
That would be
find it.
amazing.
Oh, I love
I'll ask
that.
my
Ben.
mom.
I love that.
But so my gateway to rock and roll from classical / like easy jazz was Janie's Got a Gun. I was like, oh, well, maybe, pop rock is worth listening to. But I tell you, the one that really changed my life was the Whitesnake album. So when I heard John Sykes play Here I Go Again, I was like, I'm sold. So
Are you sure
and
it wasn't
then-
when Tawny Katane was crawling on that Corvette or whatever? She was like, "Oh, Tawny Katane, you've had
I'm
sex
sure it
with so
helped.
many baseball players."
But and then like we made the band,
Yes.
And like I wanted to play keyboards, and like, but Mike was like, no, Mickey won't get an electric guitar. I was like, I'll get an electric guitar. So
Well, right, here was the thing. And so, first of all, I think your real introduction to rock and roll is when I bought you the wrestling album, Pile Driver.
oh, Pile Driver. Oh, totally. I thought that. So that was before
Yeah, that was
the
before
Whitesnake
I
album,
bought that in like sixth grade, at the sixth grade birthday.
and I did listen to that a lot.
Yeah, dude, because that album was awesome.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
the Slickster rapping and stuff. Like,
so the original, like we wanted to get a band together, and I was just gonna sing. Ben was gonna play keyboards, and then there was some dude who was gonna be a drummer, and some dude who was gonna be a guitar player, and then I was talking to like another guitar player. I'm like, oh yeah, you should be in our band. Our band is super sweet, and this is the end of seventh grade. And I'm like, our band's gonna be super sweet. We're gonna be playing these songs. We're gonna get keyboards. It's gonna be a full rock show. And he's like, I'm not gonna join any kind of band unless there's a bass player. And trying to find a bass player in seventh grade, like, because the thing is, I wanted to play stand-up bass when I was in fourth grade, but they said I wasn't tall enough, so I had to play the cello. So,
Oh, that sucks.
yes, I was they got me. I was vertically
That's
challenged,
not cool.
and so they got me.
You can still play.
right? They make half-size basses.
Half size. I wasn't
Hold-
fucking.
Hold on.
I
No.
wasn't
No. Like, okay, so
fucking Tyrion.
in defense of sizes of basses, most professionals use 3/4 size basses. Like that's considered a full
Oh, that's
size.
like the standard?
Yeah, that's the standard.
Oh,
John
I never
Lennon
knew
played a
that.
3/4 size guitar, so like,
Well,
it's no shame in that.
It
game.
makes sense because it probably shaves off a few pounds. I mean, that's a massive thing to tote around.
Terry, hold on, real quick. We got a oofta coming up. 1, 2.
Big and inconvenient. Oofda, Terry, what's up?
So, yeah. So when that guy said, like, you need to play bass, like, I'm like, all right. So I told my dad, I'm like, the day after school ends, we got to find a bass. And then he took me to get a bass, and that was it. And then I never wanted to be the singer in a band. Then I was like, I only wanted to play one instrument at a time. And so we tried to find
Right, we
singers.
tried. Yeah, that went poorly.
Yeah, dude, all these singers like sucked balls. So it ended up just being me by default. I would love to see your polka medley as performed by Bloodlust.
Yeah.
You know, I was thinking about this the other day, Scott. I was thinking about polkas the other day because
Well, Dave just got a new drum set.
there was a polka band, a heavy metal polka band called Polkaside.
Polka side. I remember.
And
They were
Clarinet.
awesome. I saw them at
Clarinet.
O'Kay's.
yeah, we all saw them at O'Kay's
We
because
played with them, didn't we?
no, we didn't play. We went to see Tim Budashevsky's
okay.
band
Went to-
Board play with
Oh,
Polka
okay.
Side at O'Kay's. And I had to write a term paper on a documentary film that night, and I wrote it on the movie about Gigi Allen. Hated. Directed by Todd Phillips, who eventually made Old School and The Hangover and those movies.
Oh, sweet.
So like he started as this guy that made a movie about Gigi Allen and ended up doing The Hangover, which I guess that made a few bucks. I'm unsure. We should jump into some music though, real quick, and then we'll keep on the conversation.
Music.
And so,
Are you done, Ben?
Well, I was going to tell.
oh shit, Ben's got more stuff. I'm sorry, Ben. Keep going. It's all
the
you.
The clarinet player from Polka Side had his skull and his kneecaps pierced, and I thought that was pretty hardcore.
That's extreme.
Right.
Yeah, well, if he's got his
So
skull
painful.
pierced, I guess he's tough a little bit. Oh man, Polka Side. Yes, but there was a heavy metal polka band, and they were awesome. And O'Kay's Corral was like, I don't know, it was like halfway between a music venue and a bathroom. I just mean the style. Like it just was. Everything smelled bad. Beer on the floor that was poured there in 1982. And the sound system, everything was but it was just awesome. And so, it really was a fun place, and it ended up burning down in the year 2000. But like so many great bands had played O'Kay's Corral, and it just was like a cool underground Madison place. And the next, O'Kay's, so many cool joints. I agree, it was a great place. And I think that the place that really replaced O'Kay's was the Frequency, because you had somewhere that was a dive bar for bands to play in. And that was awesome. Megan has a question. Sorry, going back to something y'all said earlier. Would you share violin music from your songs ever? It really depends how much work Wendy wants to do.
Yeah, no, I mean, I have, I would be happy to share. Are you talking about like the notation or? like sheet music.
It might be sheet music, so she can play along.
Because I have like for the songs that we've recorded in the studio, most of those I have the sheet music that I made for myself so that I wouldn't waste studio time trying to remember the parts. So yeah, I can.
Hell yeah.
If there's a certain song that you want, Megan, just let us know and I'll look it up. And if I don't have it already, I'd be happy to
Notate it out.
write it out for you because who knows, it could come in handy sometime. Like when we're making videos in quarantine and I'm trying to remember a song from like 8 years ago, and I can't. I mean, I have to refresh myself.
So,
it's nice to have those things.
The reason I said 1982 is because it was a place that's been around since the 80s and the early 90s, and so the beer was spilt there probably when the place was. And there was a comedy club, like it was a whole little like a corner with music and comedy, and it was a pretty awesome like artistic corner. And like that's like Nirvana when they first came to Madison. That's where they played O'Kay's Corral. Like it just was that kind of dive bar, come through, rock the shit out of it place. That was so awesome. And Lisa said she burned it down. Oh, no, but she probably was there. I mean, Lisa, you might have been there to help it, like to help. I mean, when that all that kind of stuff happened, because what was the name of the comedy club there? Oh, I can't think of it.
Where?
The comedy club that was next to O'Kay's.
Oh,
and my friend
Giggles? No.
My friend, it was Giggles Comedy Club. My friend Brett used to be the MC, the open mic MC. Oh, I can't think of it. Anyway.
Can't think of it either.
Giggles is in Germantown, isn't it?
Giggles in Germantown. You're going to love it. I'm going to tickle you till you piss your pants.
No, I'm serious. I think there was a club in.
Oh, Lisa was there.
Are you looking it up, Wendy?
She couldn't say
no.
that. Well, you can't. I mean, it was a place where great memories happened. Bart, I graduated in '83. Maybe I spilled my beer there. Well, probably, Bart. You probably did. I probably licked it off the floor. Okay, so let's jump to a song real quick. We'll come back and then we'll talk more shit. This is the title track off of our 2005 album. And we released this on my birthday in 2005. We did a 3-show weekend in Appleton and Milwaukee and Madison. We finished up at the King Club. And just had a great time. And so, and then this is also the same year that we won the Wisconsin area music industry artist of the year. So yeah, we were rolling, having fun. And this song is called Cynical, and we haven't done an acoustic in years, so it's exciting to revisit it this week. As I sit here just existing, nothing moves me, I am listening, desperate for some inspiration to break my lowered expectations. The graffiti on the wall might as well be the Bible. There's no justice or fair play. There is no hell or judgment day. I look out of my window and I'm blinded by monotony. The darkness of a world so bright, it makes me wanna shut my eyes. So cynical, the world will leave me whole if I let it get the best there is of me. Trapped in a rut, the world has kicked my butt, and I will look no more for truth or meaning again. I will look no more for truth or meaning again. I might say I'm realistic, I really mean I'm nihilistic. If we're gonna be solipsistic, might as well be hedonistic. I look out of my window and I'm blinded by monotony. The darkness of a world so bright, it makes me wanna shut my eyes. So cynical, the world will leave me whole if I let it get the best there is of me. Okay. That was cynical. So thank you. We have a quick.
There's so many clones of everybody in that video.
Yes. Tim, let's try this again. Hello, everyone. Let's try this, Tim. 1, 2, 3. Oofda. Patreon, oofda.
Timmy.
Looks like Ben's
one
back.
of the ticket winners last week.
Yes, one of the VIP.
Yeah, I always listen on the Facebook feed, so yeah, it's like 20-second delay or something.
Yeah, it's
I'll
just in
try
case
to get back promptly next time.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Abby. Thank you, Melody. Thank you, Jimmy. I didn't know you got to record with Ben. Yes.
That's a pretty good.
That's the secret.
Video trick.
That's the secret. Well, there's a funny thing is
It was not socially distanced.
this right.
No shame.
Like anybody's worried about that anymore. The second week of quarantine, though, we saw this other band. It was funny. We watched this other band on Facebook do they said it was a quarantine show, right? And they had like 4 cameras, and it really it looked like you're like, wow, these guys are playing in different rooms. And you're like, how did they play in different rooms and they can all play together? And it was live. They were answering people's questions on Facebook. And we're like, how are they doing that? And then I had to watch it for a few minutes. But then I realized I could see the shadows of one guy in the other guy's like camera. So they were all in the same place, but they had cameras focused on each of them. So it looked like they weren't in the same room. And this was a funny thing. And I'm like, oh, because I thought they figured it out. They can play music together on the internet, that's a miracle. Like that's impossible. And they did it. They didn't do it. They just all played in a garage, and then they were very clever with their camera angles. And I'm not going to call them out because they're nice. They're nice guys, and I like them. But to say that was a quarantine concert, well, that was pretty. Yeah, we could all when we did our thing at the 7 at 7. That was a quarantine concert, but we were all in the same room, and at least we admitted it. So, anyway, next thing, and question I'm interested in, a question that I'm interested in generally. Wendy, if Sunspot could cover a song that we have not covered yet because it's too difficult or it would take too much time, or maybe we'd be like, maybe you're worried that Ben and I would be like, you like that song? What would the song be that you'd want to cover? Could be one you want to sing, or could be just one you just want to play drums on. Could be one you want to play violin, whatever you want to do. Like, what would be a song that you really want to cover that we haven't done yet that you'd like to see?
Probably something from Buster Poindexter's
Oh, wow.
second album.
A deep.
I don't know. I have to think about that because there's just so many options. Oh, I mean, I don't know. I think it'd be fun to cover an Ash song, maybe, but just because I like that band a lot, and
Sure.
I think we could, we have similarities to their sound.
Sure. I mean, I'd cover anything off of 1977. Didn't we try to cover Kung Fu?
No, I don't think so.
I feel like we... Hold on. Number one, Tim, thank you. The 7 at 7 show was fire. That was the...
Aw! Thank you, Tim.
Putting that together in one day was the most difficult technical project I've ever done. So...
Mike, you're supposed to make it look like it was easy.
It was super easy. I was drunk the whole time. I couldn't even, I didn't even know what was going on. Ben and Wendy did it. Anyway, it was the hardest thing in the world. So thank you for enjoying that. And thank you for your help and the contribution on that. I think Ash would be awesome. I believe we tried to do Kung Fu at a couple different practices in 1999. because I love that song. And if you guys are wondering what this particular song was, this was the song that was released along with the movie Rumble in the Bronx. So if you saw the movie Rumble in the Bronx, it's the song at the end of the film, and it's to all these Jackie Chan outtakes.
The
And
one where he breaks his leg.
right, Jackie
Jumping
Chan
on
breaks
the
his
boat.
leg, and it's this great catchy song, and it's so much fun. And there's only like 4 chords, and it's really easy, but the words are almost impossible to figure out because, anyway, it's a lot of fun. So I feel like I wanted to try that cover an Ash song, but I think an Ash song would be fun, and I think that sounds like Wendy. I love your ideas for those kind of songs. Joel says Blackstone Cherry and Monster Truck are writing a song together live and allowing people to watch.
That's a cool idea.
That is a cool idea. Now, we have performed along with Blackstone Cherry. I don't know that I've ever heard of Monster Truck, but
Well,
I like it.
I was just gonna say that like it's a cool concept, but sometimes the process of songwriting isn't that exciting to watch. Like
Definitely not for us.
like they're sitting there like, oh man, we got to make this chorus bigger. How do I? Okay, like for hours just sitting there like plunking around. Like
Or
hopefully they're just really interesting people.
Or
and
I think
keeping
about-
it lively.
I think about syllables. Like the idea, like when you listen to a great song, is not only wonderful to listen to musically, it has meaning, and the words are interesting as well. Even if it's words that are meaningless, like the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Like none of those words mean shit, but you're like, oh yeah, bing dong, bing ding ding dong. You're like, you
Red
love
Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah, like the Chili Peppers. They're fantastic. It's the words have meaning in their sound, and that's what makes it great, right? And so, like the rhyming and stuff, the reason that poetry exists and that humans love rhyming is because in the days before you wrote things down and you read stuff, you would remember massive amounts of information through rhyming. It was like the oral tradition is different than the literate tradition. And so poetry stems from that. And music, lyrics and music, like that stems from that as well. And so you're trying to think of like syllables to fit together. So I don't think anybody wants to watch Wendy, Ben, and I look through a dictionary to think of a word that means the right thing and also sounds good, but is 4 syllables long for like 25 minutes. What does this mean? Hold on. Or you go through a word, you're like, this has to rhyme with dork. Fork, zork, lork, bork, cork, nork, shork, and you go through every single syllable thing that can get there to a rhyme. Terry, in quarantine, watching paint dry is exciting. Maybe so. Hey, and Terry, in Tim's Right, the 7 at 7 show was great. Thank you. Obviously, Terry, you get an extra shout out because you get a VIP. You get some VIP tickets for that too.
Congrats to you.
Solipsistic. Okay, speaking of words put together.
Wait, you guys didn't answer the question yet.
Yeah, Mike didn't give me an opportunity.
Oh no, we were gonna get there. I wanted to answer the people when they had something to say.
I feel like I have to step in and protect because the conversation moves so fast that it's like, oh no.
Okay, Ben, what's your cover? I'm really sorry. When Pamela, when she said solipsistic, I was like, oh my God, someone's listening. Thank you, Jesus.
Yeah, she did. She was paying attention.
So,
I think a cover that would be really like an interesting song that would be really hard to do live would be Killer Queen. Like all the like phaser effects and like more than 3-part harmonies and stuff. Like I think something like that would be extremely challenging to pull off in a way that would be enjoyable to anybody but us.
I think that song would be super, like not even for a cover would be hard to pull off Killer Queen. You know,
but if you could do it, how awesome would that be?
That would be pretty sweet. That's a solid pick. You guys both had solid picks.
Thanks. That's why I wanted to make sure I got to say it.
Well, sometimes you see people talk and you want to jump in. I don't think as far as recorded, I don't think we've done a very good job of covering like I'd like to cover like a Misfit song or something like that in a very in a way that's not overproduced, in a way that's not, in a way that feels because when you listen to the Misfits, it's catchy and it's fun and sometimes it's shocking and it's about all this kind of like crazy stuff or horror movies and everything, but the way it's recorded is part of the aesthetic of the song.
Right, you take the microphone and you put it in somebody's butthole.
You put it in an anus.
And hit record.
It sounds best. Right, it sounds like music from an anus.
Oh no!
It just doesn't. It's not clean. It's not. And so I think we really have a tendency to think about the way we want to do something very clean and pretty. And I'd love to work on a cover that was like
dirty,
gritty grit.
Well, okay.
I like that.
Think about Appetite for Destruction. How many times have you guys listened to Appetite for Destruction?
Million.
Yeah. And it sounds like an ashtray. Like you're listening to it and you're like, these people have diseases and I don't want to touch them. You're like Axl Rose, like
that
you listen.
Heroin.
Right. That album sounds like heroin.
Thought.
But you listen to that record, you're like, I do not want my children to know these people because they're dangerous. I'd love to make a recording that sounds dangerous like that. I feel like a Misfit song or something we could do in that. We'd have to add a guitar solo, but that's why we had a cover.
We tried. Remember, we tried sounding raw and dirty on Loser of the Year. So we got signed to an independent record label named Roadcat Records. Although before he changed the name, what was the
Angel Magic Music?
Angel Magic
It's called
Music.
Angel Magic Music. And we didn't want to tell anybody we had a label called Angel Magic. Otherwise, they'd ask us for like if they're like, oh yeah, do you guys have any crystals on you? Like it was just a little too magical for us.
So we had recorded Summer Day and When the Revolution Comes at Smart Studios, and this independent record label wanted to do an all like live sounding raw take. So we blew through everything in 3 hours and then drove to Eau Claire and played a show that night.
Yeah,
that was our day.
Throw. A very haunted venue.
Entire album, right?
We recorded an entire album in one day.
Yeah.
But I'm glad we did that one that way because that was a really it's a nice snapshot of where we were at that point in time because we were touring so much and we were playing at like just those songs in that album. I remember playing. I can picture like 100 different places playing them and just playing everything so fast and so being so excited and just being out there and wherever it was like. So it's kind of cool that we have that album to like sort of capture that raw, I don't know if you want to call it like whatever, youth.
No, I get it.
Attitude.
I do think that there's a lot of great stuff on there too. And when I go back and listen to it now, like I appreciate the rawness of it. When sometimes you listen to something that we've done lately or at all, you're like, oh, that's very polished. And the very polished stuff is good. And sometimes it's good to listen to like, oh my God, these guys are like all stuck in one room. And then this is the electricity that happens when they do it. Terry, though, you said he's an asshat. I met him when they opened up for Alice Cooper. Who's the asshat?
Talking about dancing?
I wonder if it's Axl Rose.
Axl Rose, yeah.
Or
dude, there's no way that Axl would play with Alice Cooper like open. Like not with
Motley Crue opened for Alice Cooper. I saw that one.
Yes, and Vince Neil is an asshat.
Oh, so maybe that's who
I will give you that.
Maybe that is the asshat in question.
I love Motley Crue, and I think Vince Neil is an asshat. And
I got to tell my miss.
Axl, what? You met Axl, Terry? Okay, we need to hear more about you meeting Axl Rose.
But Ben has a story.
Okay. I wanted to tell my Misfits story.
Yes.
I've only seen the Misfits live once, and in the mosh pit.
That was with Michael Graves, though.
Right.
No
Yep.
disrespect to Michael Graves, because his 2 Misfits albums are fucking awesome.
Right. Like, I mean, great show, but you know, I'm towards the back of the mosh pit, right? And this guy accidentally like hits a girl like badly. And
Oh no.
all of her friends take this guy like out of the mosh pit and they pull his shirt over his head and start kneeing him in the
Oh my
face
God.
like they went
Oh,
at him
shit.
like hockey style. And then like he's just bloody, and then the girl gets in there and just hits him with every limb. Anyway, the guy just got the beat down.
Get his ass kicked.
So.
I saw that at a show with a band called
That sounds disturbing.
Dangerous Toys at Summerfest.
Mm.
So when Dangerous Toys played at Summerfest, I did not go to the bathroom for 8 hours, number one. But this is before I was drinking.
Rough,
This is
dude.
before I was drinking, so it didn't matter.
Tycho Brahe.
Not
You didn't drink water?
Like Tycho Brahe. Not like the time.
Nice.
No, I didn't drink water. Not like the time that I got busted for trying to bring vodka into Summerfest. Going to see Andrew WK in 2004, and as we're going in, they check our bags, and I've got. Did I have Evian? I believe I had.
Yes,
I
it
think
was.
Evian full of vodka, and the guy's like, "We don't sell Evian here," and I'm like, "Oh no, well it's just water," and he goes, "Okay," and he smells it, and he obviously smells because it's straight up 1,000 proof vodka, and he's like, this smells like alcohol," and I'm just like, "Oh." The guy at the corner said it was water. I don't know what could have happened. Can I have that back? And he's like, no. But he still let us in. So thank you to that guy.
But he took your vodka.
He did steal a vodka.
Kind of like when you had to sweet talk the police to let us in the front door of State Fair a couple of years ago, so we wouldn't be late for our set.
Yes.
Oh, don't sweat.
Don't sweat it, buddy. Okay. So it was GNR 1986 or 87 when they're on their first tour, opening up for Alice Cooper.
Oh,
First
man.
of all, Guns N' Roses and Alice Cooper opening up. Oh, I mean,
That's amazing.
that sounds like
Sounds
the
like
best
an awesome
show in the best time ever. But also I see it because like early 1970s Alice Cooper is very Guns N' Roses-ish. So I can definitely see the similarities. Okay, Utterly Insane Productions. I drove a cab in Madison for 4 years. I had Ace from Kiss. Ace Frehley. When the day after the concert with 3 roadies, it was 2001-ish. So this probably was when they got back together with Ace Frehley and Peter Criss to make extra money because Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley fucking hate Ace Frehley and Peter Criss. But they know they can make more money with those guys. And so, yeah. And I can see, and also I've always heard the word, like nobody has worse stories than like people who used to like hang around Kiss. Those stories are always like, yeah, those guys are horrible people. And you're always like, oh no, Kiss is awesome. That was my first concert, was Kiss, Winger, and Slaughter. We've already talked about our first concert though. And so mine was Kiss, Winger, and Slaughter. Wendy, yours was like Starship, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
Built
yeah.
the City tour.
And Ben, yours was no, wait, who's that guy? Copacabana, right?
Van Halen.
I know, Van Halen. I just wanted to bust your balls and pretend it was.
That's funny. It's pretty good.
All right, sounds
You
good.
had me going.
Like, what, Ben? Really? He's a big fan of Barry Manilow? Oh yeah, Ben's got all the greatest hits.
Well, I think my second concert was the better story. Cause
What was the second concert, Wendy?
that was David Lee Roth when he was on his like solo tour.
Oh man, which tour was
And-
that, Wendy? Is that Eat 'em and Smile or Skyscraper?
I don't know, but my parents made us leave before the show was over because it was too obscene. It
Yeah,
was in, like
David
fourth
Lee
grade.
Roth.
Man, Steve Vai was on those albums.
And Billy
I just
Sheehan.
remember
Yeah, and
there
Billy
were
Sheehan.
these
Great
Hesher
band.
dudes sitting behind us, and they were like, "That's so cool! Your parents took you to this concert." My sister and I were like, "He does that California Girls song and Just a Gigolo."
I think it was at the skyscraper because Wendy, you said you remembered Just Like Paradise. I think we talked about this a long time ago, and you're like,
man,
I don't remember Just Like Paradise.
you don't? Well, yeah, I thought you told me that. I could have made it up. I don't know why.
Maybe it was somebody else.
I don't know. Yeah, I might know somebody else who went to that concert, so I don't even know.
I heard that album on cassette in Mike's basement. I remember that.
But, oh man, of course your parents, like, dude, David Lee Roth is vulgar as fuck.
Yeah, and he came out with, like, the assless chaps and everything.
Yeah.
And my mom's like, what is this?
And
Why wouldn't you?
His autobiography or whatever, when it came out, like, he was in assless chaps on the cover, and that was his thing.
Right, that was like his uniform.
I love this. My first concert was in 1970 something. Saw Sha Na Na.
Nice.
I have seen Sha Na Na as well, and they were good. Sha Na Na performed at Woodstock, guys. So Terry's like, I love Sha Na Na. Yeah, fucking
awesome.
Bowser, right? Like the Bowser's thing, like with the muscles. You guys remember Bowser? Okay. Let's play another song. Now,
yeah, the glass is starting to get empty.
This one is from our album Weirdest Hits, and we don't do a lot of slow love songs, but we love you guys and want to do a slow love song for you. This is Mine Without a Holiday. Oh. This might take a minute because I do not think...
It's not mine.
I do not think that that everything synced up. Well, while that syncs up,
Oops.
It
wasn't synced?
We should keep talking about Bowser and Sha Na Na. I do love Sha Na Na, so that is a cool thing. And a fun thing. Man. I've never seen David Lee Roth perform live, Wendy, so I am jealous of you a bunch.
It's just a funny experience because my sister and I kind of had no idea what was going on.
Of course not.
And we're just like, this is cool. We're at a rock concert. Like fourth grade or whatever. And then things started. And I guess, he was about as vulgar as it
That's David Lee Roth. He is the grossest.
But I do remember the guys behind us, like in the row behind us, that were like, "Whoa, is this your first rock concert?" And they were totally like Pauly Shore, like
your parents are so cool.
Yeah, like with the leather jackets and the curly long hair and stuff like that, like rocker dudes.
Oh man, and I feel like the first concert I ever went to that was a concert was Juice Newton. When she sang Queen of Hearts.
Please do tell.
Juice Newton at Alpine Valley. My mom, I'm sure, got free tickets because my parents never gave a shit about music. So, okay. So the thing is that right now, if you are still seeing us, I'm just waiting on things to download on this side. So we'll just keep rolling until things start. And I can't do anything because if you have a Mac, you understand what the pinwheel is. Pinwheel's going. And as long as the pinwheel means we're still talking, that's close enough. All right. So until the song syncs up, and I can't see any comments right now, so I'm afraid I can't answer any questions.
Oh, Joel Bradley saw his first big concert was Metallica at Summerfest. Oh, man, that's a big one.
I was there.
Hey,
No wonder you're such a rock.
Hell yeah,
rock
Joel. I was there. That was with Metal Church was the opener for that song. So that
and Pamela. Oh, go ahead, Ben.
I was just gonna say I remember hearing, so I didn't really like the Saint Anger,
Stanger.
Album until I heard it at Joel's house in White Bear Lake.
Oh,
because
on that
he had
awesome
he had the quadraphonic recording on DVD, and I didn't like that they were going for like a lo-fi like production value on that album. But when I heard it at Joel's house, so the quadraphonic, so like you could hear, so the camera would focus on like Jason Newsted, and then like, or actually no, that was is that the new bass player?
Yeah.
Yes.
But they would focus on individual players. So like, okay, Kirk Hammett's got a solo, so we're going to focus in on him. And it was really cool to hear the guitar like that cleanly, you know?
Right, more up front, like when it was on him or whatever.
Right. So anyway, Joel, thank you for bringing that album into something that I was able to appreciate.
Yeah, that was cool. Pamela said that her first concert was Sonny and Cher.
Oh,
How
man.
awesome is that?
All right. I would go see
I
that.
would have loved to have seen Sonny and Cher. That's incredible. Terry had a crush on Bowser. Aww.
Yeah. Brr, brr, like, yeah.
Melody's one of her favorites was Depeche Mode at Minnesota State Fair. That would be great. I would have loved
What?
to
That
have seen
sounds really
live.
good. I'd love to see Depeche Mode live.
I bet the lighting show was amazing for that.
Yeah.
I saw Sonny and Cher every week on Scooby-Doo reruns.
What?
There you go.
Yeah, the episode where Sonny and Cher were on Scooby-Doo.
Oh
Sonny
man, I don't
and Cher
remember.
were on Scooby-Doo. The Harlem Globetrotters were on Scooby-Doo.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I didn't remember the Sonny and Cher one. That's funny.
Who else was on Scooby-Doo? Sonny and Cher, the Globetrotters, Batman and Robin. Like Batman showed up.
With Adam West voicing the.
Oh yeah, Adam West and
Batman,
Burt,
right?
like
Oh, yeah.
Burt Ward.
Oh, that's awesome.
All right, let's try that again.
Whoop 'em Gangnam Style.
We'll try.
Whoop 'em Sunspot style.
We'll try it again
Take
real
me
quick.
out again.
I finally got back on, and then like all of a sudden the software was like, "Oh, not gonna work." But we'll get it going for you guys.
I love it when it does that.
Man, yeah, what? Oh, dude, when Joel saw Metallica at Summerfest, it was Danzig and Suicidal Tendencies. I was not at that show.
No way.
Shit, that show sounds awesome.
Remember the video for Send Me Your Money? That
Yeah.
was Sweet Suicidal Tendencies video. That was great.
Dude, and March Monsters of Rock, Van Halen, Scorpions, Metallica, Kingdom Come, and Dokken. Well,
Oh my
Oh,
god.
wow.
obviously that show.
Dokken
sounds
with
nuts.
George Lynch.
Wow.
I saw Dokken.
Was George Lynch in Dokken at the time?
Yes, I saw Dokken with George Lynch, and
Outstanding.
he was amazing.
Yeah,
And
he
I
really
could tell he hated Don Dokken. They hated each other. Dude, Abby saw Danzig at the Rave, her first concert.
George Lynch didn't learn to read music until like the mid '90s.
Really?
Reading an article, like way after I started liking George Lynch, that said
Interesting.
like, "Hey, I took it upon myself to finally do this."
Huh. That's cool.
Yeah.
Respect that.
Joel, did any of you see Citizen King back in the day? They were fun.
Yes. Yes.
I saw them when they were called like Wild Kingdom. Their original name.
I saw him
or
at
whatever.
the Union Terrace a few times.
So
I
the-
might have.
in Waukesha.
Yeah, I feel like I saw him in Milwaukee.
Brian Adams at the Coliseum was awesome. Ben and I went to see
What
Brian
year,
Adams.
Terry?
Well,
Right.
she probably saw him earlier. We saw Brian Adams in 1992 with Mr. Big opening him.
And Mike won the tickets and a guitar.
My
from
mother,
Mr. Big.
my mother won the
That's
tickets.
so
mother,
cool.
right? Your mother won every radio contest in
She
Milwaukee.
was
Credit
really
where
good
credit's
at
due.
radio contest. So she won. Okay, so she won. So Mr. Big comes into town, opening it for Brian Adams at Mecca, and this was at Mecca. And this is the first time, actually, that night was like the first time Ben and I had actually probably real like interactions with homeless people, because my parents drop us off, and they're like, "We'll pick you up at George Webb after the show." And we walked to George Webb, and there were like people talking to themselves, like going nuts. It was terrifying for me, at least, a suburban bumpkin, to go into downtown George Webb at midnight on like a Thursday.
Did you get some chicken flavored noodle soup?
I probably got pea soup at the George Webb's. I love their pea soup.
I had already been rehearsing at UW Milwaukee for a couple of years, so
So
Can you get Ben back in the video?
Yeah, or you could just leave me out. Whatever.
Sorry, I didn't see that. Okay.
He's like the voice coming from behind
Sorry,
us.
all right.
Like,
Disembodied voice.
I was looking at the comments. Jimmy Buffett put on a good show. The tailgating's a whole different experience. So much fun.
oh,
Right, Jimmy
yeah.
Buffett. What do they call him? The
Parrot heads.
the parrot
Drop
heads.
rock.
Those crazy parrot heads.
Okay. Head East
That's
at the
a-
Wausau Fair. Oh man, that's a song we would. Head East's big song. We would do a great job of covering.
If you like Jimmy Buffett jokes, watch the movie Club Dread by Broken Lizard.
Club Dread is all but Jimmy Buffett jokes with fucking Dangerous Pete or whatever his name is.
Coco Pete.
Coco Pete, played by Bill Paxton, who
Oh,
we did
yeah.
we did
What
an
a Bill
entire
Paxton,
podcast
yeah.
about Bill Paxton after he died. And our friend Mark O'Connell actually wrote a script that Bill Paxton was supposed to direct. Mark O'Connell grew up in the same town that Ben and I did. JJ, my first concert was Vanilla Ice at the Riverside. Ooh, stop, collaborate, and listen, son.
That's amazing.
Jimmy,
Was he doing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles song then?
we were in a movie with Pauly Shore. All right, Jimmy, we're going to have to hear about that story sometime soon. Lisa, B-52s and the Go-Go's. Oh, that sounds... Dude, I would love to see the B-52s.
Wow, that would be a great concert.
And obviously, Jane Weedland from the Go-Go's lived in Madison for a few years.
She's not here anymore?
No. I mean, she married a guy from Madison, and then, like, when it was time to move, she moved back to Los Angeles. But she was here. I met her at the Mamas once, and then somewhere else at like the High Noon at a different time. But she was always nice enough. I never asked her about her time on The Surreal Life or whatever, which is what I really wanted to know. Like, you want to talk to Jane Weedland and be like, what was it like being The Surreal Life? George Clinton at P-Funk at Broadfest was amazing. Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. Terry, you are 1,000% correct.
Remember when
Yeah, that
guy
was great.
Under the tour bus?
Yeah, dude, there's like
Oh yeah, sleeping.
yeah, some dude just high as
We-
balls.
We opened for George Clinton, and there was a point where they found somebody that was under in the luggage racks of George Clinton's tour bus, and he was like, shh.
He might have been from the last tour stop.
Tour stop.
But the thing is, when the mothership picks you up, you never know what's going to happen.
Right, you're not gonna say no to that.
Scott, I agree with this. Scooby-Doo is totally skeptic propaganda. Like, I was thinking about this the other day. It's never actually a ghost. It's always like the guy that owns the place or whatever. It's it's skeptic
mask.
propaganda, and it's anti-capitalist because it's always like the owner's a piece of shit. Avenged Sevenfold, Megan. Avenged Sevenfold, 6th grade for my first concert.
Oh my gosh,
Oh,
that's
strong.
solid.
Yeah, that's
that's
heavy.
serious rocking
Guitar playing in that band is really good.
Okay.
and drumming.
Head East, the song I think we could really do a good job of, and I didn't answer my thing about a cover, would be Save My Life, I'm Going Down for the Last Time.
That would be a good one.
Yeah,
We could.
totally nail that with
Yeah,
the chick's
split-
voice
split
and the
up the
guy's voice.
harmonies.
Yeah, we could totally nail that. And it's a great
Wendy-
song. There's a lot of great bass parts in that song, too.
Wendy, you said you like the drumming in Avenged Sevenfold. Are you more of a Rev fan or a Portnoy fan? Or whoever-
Obviously, Portnoy is like a force in and of himself. Like,
which can be good or bad. Like some people say that like he changed the sound of the band.
yeah, I don't know. I guess I haven't listened to enough to compare them to know to be able to speak, to one or the other. It's a very technical. The parts are very technical, and so it's cool to hear that kind of like freakishly inhuman, amazing drumming from either one. Did you have a favorite?
Well, I like that My Nightmare song. So whatever album that's off of. But I don't know. I have a hard time with the singing.
Yeah,
but
I don't think he's a good
certainly
singer.
love the guitar playing in that band. So.
Okay, that's cool. Mike, what's the song that you want to cover?
Well, I suggested like a Misfits style thing that we could
Oh,
do something
okay.
raw and dirty.
Yeah. Do you have a specific song that you were thinking of, though, or just generally like that type of
I
style?
think we could do a really good job with Astro Zombies. I think that would be a fun one. Or it might be fun to do a medley of Michael Graves songs because they're all like 1.5 minutes long, and Michael Graves does not get a lot of respect. Or like Metallica didn't cover the Michael Graves song, so people don't know them. But those are like the catchiest, best Misfit song. They are awesome Misfit songs.
Cool.
So I would do any of those, and I would always love to do Saturday Night. Which the last time I saw a cover of that was when Thule did it in 2003. Or 2002, December 2002, we played with Thule at the Annex. Okay, I got the music coming up, so I think we do have some songs.
Yay.
We can finally play, you guys, and I apologize for the wait. But sometimes the technicians, what are you going to do? Here's Mine Without a Hum.
You got to get the machine, you know.
Tell me nothing of your life. I painted you as an angel. These lines, these curves don't do you justice. If it's all the same to you, I'll draw them just as well. I can't believe you're not on paper. I can't believe you are made for me to touch. I will accept that you are mine without a holiday, but not that I deserve as much. Tell me nothing of yourself. I sculpted you as a goddess. This lifeless clay don't hold a candle to the obvious edge. If it's all the same to you, I'll shape it in your image. I can't believe that you're not fiction. I can't believe you are made for me to hold. I will accept that you are mine without a holiday, but not that I should be so bold. Well, fuck yeah. Good job. That was a fun one. Thank you guys, everybody who had the nice things to say.
Yeah, thanks for the little hearts.
Love the double violins.
Hey, all right. Thank you.
Talked about the double violin a couple weeks ago.
That's right. We did.
Love this song. So romantic. That's true.
Aww.
We're a romantic group.
Once in a while, the soft side comes out. The soft side of Sunspot.
Yes. The soft underbelly of the band.
Somebody in Europe liked that one recently, like a couple of months ago. I got like 46,000 views. You remember that on the
Yes.
Scamp tape?
It was used.
Did we ever figure out what that's from?
No, we didn't. It was used in a European television program. And so I can't remember, but then they found it on YouTube, and then a lot of people ended up enjoying it. So that was really cool. You never know what the Euros are going to dig, you know?
No, you really don't.
So, hey, everybody, it is Thirsty Thursday and everybody hanging out tonight and chilling with us. We absolutely appreciate that. For anybody who is not already a Patreon member, well, we strongly encourage you to join. Not only do you get a shout out in a special toast, but we also do like a couple extra kind of like hangouts and things like that every week. This Sunday, we will be doing a conversation with Mike DeMonte from Punk Rock and UFOs and talking to him. So we'll be doing that. Oh, Stu has not yet gotten his Patreon shout out. 1, 2, 3.
Thanks, Stu.
I have a sip left. Oofta. Stu.
Okay. Megan, I'm curious, how do you go about recording? Like, which instrument do you record first? I've always been so interested in the recording aspect of it, and how do you put it together so well? Well, number one, thank you, Megan.
Thank you.
We do appreciate
drums.
nice things.
Yeah.
When you're doing it in the like the big studio, the drums are always a big part.
Wendy's on the chopping block first.
You gotta do the drums first so you can play to it. And a lot of times, so what we used to do a lot was that we'd all play the bass guitar and the drums and the rhythm guitar all together, and then we'd overdub on top of that. Now we'll do it usually just the drums first and bass over, then the guitar over and stuff like that, because technology is a little better. But in the studio, like what we did for the most part was that we would all record together the rhythm parts. The parts that needed to be in sync with each other to sound the best and sound the most groovy, I guess is the word. And then you put stuff over. For these particular recordings, we pick an instrument, whether it be guitar or piano, and that's kind of the lead. And so somebody creates that instrument, like they create that part, and then we all record over it. So for sometimes it's me singing with the guitar. For Cynical, it's Ben with the guitar. Or for Mine Without a Holiday, it's Ben with the piano. And then we just go in there and we record to it. But it starts with that first instrument, just like it would be with Wendy with the drums for a hard rock song. And we do the same thing here at home that we would do in the recording studio. So that's kind of what we're doing. But instead of having a professional mixer do it, it's just us, which can be great. And also then it can be us. Melody, if Ben is serious about a lesson or two, I'm interested. Well, you got to see if he might be tired from teaching all those kids how to play the band instruments. But I'm sure he'd love to help out if you're looking for guitar help. Oh, Greg Lawson, the paranormal detective. Greg, out in Tejas. Hope you're doing well in Austin, Texas, Greg, and hope that you're doing great.
Nice to hear from you.
So, all right, before we tune out tonight, everybody, does anybody have any last stuff they want to say or stuff they want to talk about? Anything burning on your heart or your mind that's going with? Like, we always talk about the stuff we care about, which is going to be music, art, positivity, feeling good, finding the best out of any negative situation. But if there's anything that anybody wants to bring up or ask before we roll, let us know. But we will be back. We'll do a 2 for Tuesday next week for a duo, and then next Thursday, we'll be back for Thirsty Thursday, and we did get a bunch of requests for Thirsty Thursdays, especially now that the drums, Wendy's got the V drums back, so we can start recording.
Saw that this.
Yeah, and it sounded really good too.
Let's just.
It doesn't sound like a real drum. Of course, it does not. But the thing is, we're living in the future, and we have to enjoy what living in the future brings, and that is digital drums. So let's see what we can do. But if you guys have requests, make sure you send them in. If you are a Patreon and have requests, obviously those get read first. And if you have questions about anything, the place to direct them is right there. And look at that. And so our Patreons, we have some stuff coming out for you this week. Anybody that was on the list.
It's harder than it looks.
It is harder.
I know.
It's harder than it looks. I've been telling girls that for years. But
Oh my gosh.
Oh dear.
the jokes write themselves. So anybody, hey, I just hope everybody's doing all right. Oh, did I make that small? There we go.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
That's the first time.
Hey. Okay,
Hey.
guys, we love you guys so much for having fun and being fantastic and everything you do. Wendy and I'll be back on Sunday at 2 p.m. with Mike DeMonte to talk about his new book, Punk Rock and UFOs Stranger Than Fiction. And then we'll be back next week for some more fun. Also, check out OtherSidePodcast.com. Like we just released a really badass song as part of the latest podcast. I do believe Hunger of the Damned is a lot of fun. And we'll have a new one up in just a couple of days. Enough to you, Megan. Thank you so much for your support and just being awesome.
Thank you, Megan. Cheers.
Brian Geraldo. Geraldo Rivera has joined us on this podcast. And he's thrown in a YouTube, which makes me sound...
Are you going to click on that?
Sorry.
Because I don't know.
Fuck no. Do not click on Brian's thing because it sounds to me like a troll. But from my thing,
Spam.
I can't ban you, Brian. And I put it up because this was the next thing on the list. Sorry.
Wait, hold on a minute. I think it actually might not be.
Okay, so before I talk shit about this guy.
No, it's House Techno Sin. Okay, I won't.
All right, get the fuck out of here. Everybody else, you are awesome, and we love you, and all the kind of stuff. Yeah, just let us know how you're doing, what you need, and we love hanging out with you every Thursday night and all the time that we do stuff. And pretty soon it's going to be live rock and roll shows for everybody, and then we're all going to hang out together. So, any last words, Wendy and Ben?
Stay safe, stay well, have
Thank
fun.
you.
Yeah, it's all going well. Keep your
Thanks for watching.
keep your head and your thoughts pointed in the right direction, and let's keep going forward. And then we will see you all in just a little while. So good night, everybody.